On more than one occasion, the models were asked to wear makeup that was supposed to make them look like a different ethnicity. Now, blackface has been a problem for a long time. We've talked about cultural appropriation. These are topics that are well known, or at least I would assume that, people know of them, at least those who are creating TV, who are in the industry, who are generally in the progressive, population. A lot of gay people, fashion people, queer people, people who know what's right and wrong, not to go and make a white girl look like a black woman. In Cycle 13, which premiered in 2009, the models were asked to pose in a biracial photo shoot in which they wore makeup and costumes that were supposed to indicate two different ethnicities. Multiple contestants wore thick makeup that darkened their skin tone, which is straight up blackface, something that is really looked down upon. So I can't believe Tyra Banks, a black woman, saw this and just was okay with it.
The race is on. Be ready to show your true colors at 7 o'clock in the morning.
So as you guys can see, there are several models and their photos displayed next to them, and clearly they are not in their regular attire. They are acting like they are someone they're not supposed to be. This, in my opinion, goes beyond modeling, and it's incredibly inappropriate. I mean, there are so many people on this set. How did anyone just allow this to go on? Especially when your name, your reputation, your career is associated with this moment and this production. I just wouldn't want to be tied back to it. And that's why Tyra Banks has never really been able to escape this. The photo shoot's creative director is Manuel, and he actually addressed the backlash, saying, many times when you're working in an environment like that, you have to listen to your executive producers. Ultimately, the two voices at the top were Ken and Tyra Banks. So, he's throwing it back on Tyra Banks. Wow. I was so uncomfortable with this. I was basically told I had to execute this creative, and it made me very uncomfortable. And I'm not surprised that or I wouldn't be surprised if these people all were fully aware how wrong it was, but they knew it would stir up some good TV. And, the competition, while it was a competition for modeling, it was really primarily a reality show. So they want to make good TV at the end of the day, and they thought this would be it.
The whole race swapping shoot, I was very uncomfortable. My parents grew up in South Africa. They're from South Africa. So you've got to understand the kind of the family I grew up in. I'm biracial. It just was very uncomfortable. So I did go to my co-executive producer at the time because it was kind of understood. I knew certain things at that point I couldn't even go to Tyra with. And they basically said I had to do that shoot.
So Jay has had to respond to this moment, and Tyra has taken time to respond as well. Now, I don't know if she meant this because she had deleted this tweet in May 2020. She tweeted, "Been seeing these posts about the insensitivity of some past America's Next Top Model moments, and I agree with you. Looking back, those were some really off choices. Appreciate your honest feedback, and I'm sending so much love and virtual hugs." Okay, well, we're giving your honest feedback. It's a little bit too late. Actually, do I even see a sorry? I don't even see a sorry here. There's no I'm sorry. It's just sending love and virtual hugs. XOXO. In season 3, there was a contestant who was criticized several times for embracing her African heritage. A white guest judge voted to eliminate her, saying, "You have this intensity to prove your sort of Africanness, and it's not attractive." So this person felt off put by someone else's culture and decided they need to be eliminated because their culture was just too abrasive for them to feel comfortable.
Just because we had to talk about, Afrocentricity before, and it's kind of misunderstood. I'm all about, expressing yourself and your culture, but it's still done in a fashion way. You want your outfit to be, look at me, and this outfit is, look over there.
One of the biggest parts of this series in the show is the makeover episode, which I would be lying if I said it wasn't my favorite, because we all love to see the makeovers and what they can do, but sometimes they pushed it way too far. Again, not to make this woman a better model, to make them more attractive, but to create good TV. When it came to black models and the makeovers, Tyra always made them change their hair texture or cut off their natural hair. This sent a message that black hair wasn't beautiful, nor was it deemed acceptable in the model world, which I think that's totally valid. I would say that I think they always want to change everyone a lot. But then again, there were people who had beautiful natural hair. There are some weaves that were put in just completely incorrectly. So it does seem like Tyra was kind of going at the black contestants, making it more difficult for them or making them feel like they weren't okay as they were already.
I never cut my hair drastically on my life. Just a shot. I was supposed to build my confidence. I just came out the bottom too. Now I don't got no hair.
In hindsight, I can look at these episodes and tell that they were on a budget. They weren't out here using the best hairstylists, the most, experienced people. And I'm not talking bad about the stylists, like whatever, but they didn't know what they were doing, especially to Black women or people who had dyed hair, processed hair. They would be ordered to do these things that they are not trained in, and they would execute them terribly. And now the model has to live with it.
People did not have the correct clippers. Everybody basically sat and they didn't know what to do.
Should we leave a little tough?
I didn't even like the way the woman was cutting my hair and the way they were having a conversation in front of me.
Should we write her name?
Yeah.
It is uneven.
Yeah.
They must have shaving her head that fast.
It is very upsetting to an African-American woman to go into a salon and the person to do her hair incorrectly. It is very inappropriate. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh, I'm so frustrated watching that moment. Like when she said, oh, should we write her name in her head? Like, if you've never seen a microaggression before, there you go. Another Black contestant revealed that Tyra would have to send Black models to certified hairdressers off camera to fix the incorrectly and unprofessionally done hairstyles. So Tyra would take it on to herself to go and fix these problems, knowingly putting these girls into this scene where these people were to mess up their hair, and then maybe having a little bit of empathy for them, realizing that their hair was so messed up that she was like, you know what, I'll go get someone to help you. But it's too late, and you've already embarrassed them on camera. A contestant named Tiffany revealed that she was labeled the uneducated ghetto girl because of her accent and look, which again, that terminology, I don't even like saying that, but that's what they tried to play her off as. And it does again go back to the reality TV of it all, where they're trying to fill these characters and they're trying to paint this woman out to someone who they want to be portrayed as on TV. It's all fake.
But without the ghetto face.
There are many indications of Southern in your speech. It's going to be a big handicap.
The other girls speak a little more clearly than I do, and I know it, so it's gonna take time. Put it like this, I don't talk like nobody here.
That's fine. You ain't got to talk like nobody there.
The same, everybody always talk about the ghetto like that's something bad, like only bad people come from the ghetto. There are intelligent people in the ghetto. My mom's intelligent, my grandma's very intelligent. I'm ghetto because probably I chose to be ghetto, and that's who I am.
A lot of people's interpretation of being ghetto is something that's not
everybody.
So that's why I don't talk like the other girls who live in Compton. Like,
I just felt so upset at myself that I've been trying to change all these different things about me, and I'm unhappy.
Poor Tiffany having to go and defend herself, not only for who she is, but for her right to be there. I mean, people have British accents, they have Asian accents, all these different kind of accents. So to have a Southern accent, to have whatever she would describe as like a ghetto accent, which I don't even think that's like, again, that's like just not that's not appropriate because it's like characterizing, like ghetto has been used in a negative sense. So to call it that, it just makes, I actually have like goosebumps. It makes me super uncomfortable because to me, it's just so demeaning, and you can watch it and like live TV. And I just think about like those little kids who like saw that and felt like they relate to her and that they don't belong here. And that's why it's just important to like honestly put respect on that girl's name, that model's name, Tiffany, because she really like advocated for herself when no one was. In this series, Black women were consistently criticized for their skin because America's Next Top Model did not have makeup artists that catered to their skin type and tone. So a lot of the Black models would be clocked for having bad skin or for their makeup looking bad, when these people were the ones responsible for hiring them to make them look good. So it really just set them up for failure.
and with your skin texture, being an African American woman, it should be like butter. At the retouching session, your photo was the hardest that we had to do.
I love the color of her skin, I really do. But up close, she just looked so old.
Un petit bouton. Do you have a little skin problem? Just a little?
It's a menstrual breakout.
You have to work on that skin. You drink more water. Water, water, water.
You can get there, but it's gonna take some work. You're unretouched shot. It's like a Hitchcock film.
Go back and forth really fast to see what I mean.
What are you feeling right now, Kelly? You look a little...
It's very shocking to see it like this. The people that usually see my skin tell me that I have beautiful skin.
It is shocking. It's also shocking that the edit doesn't look that different. I mean, I'll put it back up on the screen. You guys can see she doesn't look that different between the two. So that reaction from Janice Dickinson was really unwavered. And it kind of reminds me of my reaction to watching Janice perform in West Hollywood. I saw her perform her song she released like 2 years ago. And I think I posted, and she actually looked at it on Instagram. I posted that it was the worst performance I ever see in my life. It was terrible. It looked like she could barely even walk. And she's older, so whatever. But like, don't go and perform a pop song if you're not going to sing. You can barely move, and you're going to go out here criticizing everyone else. Girl, Janice, you're barely holding it together on stage. But it wasn't just Black women receiving all the heat. Asian women did as well. There was one model who felt like she was the underdog because of her ethnicity, which put a lot of mental pressure on her, which I can't imagine. I mean, this feeling of not belonging and kind of just being like kicked out of the group because of something you cannot change, it's really debilitating.
Well, come on, what percentage of magazine covers do you see an Asian on? It's rougher being an Asian than a Black woman. Tyra has told me right up front.
The fashion industry is all about race.
Really?
So you see Asian girls on the covers of magazines, and I'm not talking about Lucy Liu, she's an actress. So with you entering this fashion world, you would be the underdog. This industry only allows for one person of color in that certain category at a time. So like April, if you make it, you are the top Asian girl at the moment.
I understand that, yes, my look is much more dominantly Asian than white. Therefore, I must market myself that way.
Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.